One of the most experienced players in the world is Erik Seidel.
Well, when it comes to the game's greats, Erik Seidel has to be in the conversation. It's the young buck versus the old stag.
Erik Seidel does have more experience playing live heads up at least, but with a chip disadvantage like this, it's hard to make it count for much.
Blind still 61-20. Seidel raising from the button from the small blind with King-8 suited. Pocket sevens for Ivanovic.
And I'm very interested to see how he plays this. Does he want to play a huge pot with 2 7s? I guess against a 25 big blind stack, you're happy to.
There's the 3-bet. Ivanovic re-raises to 685k.
Doesn't look like Erik's folding.
Does Seidel have the stack to just call here?
I'm sure Ivanovic would be perfectly happy with him putting it in.
Well, Seidel does just call. He'll play the flop in position.
Yeah, the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, you're good.
No king or 8 on the flop. Ivanovic still ahead. He checks.
Sure, he's fine with getting the showdown at this point.
Seidel checks behind and picks up a ton of equity on the turn.
Yeah, look.
He now has an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw.
Tough to bet this board for value, but he may want to charge Seidel to draw.
1.4 million in the middle. Ivanovic bets 675k.
And Erik does have draws. He's got draws up the wazoo.
Come on.
He shoves.
Hold on.
And Ivanovic folds.
Okay, so round 1 goes to experience.
Seidel now playing around 4.5 million. It's Ivanovic's button. He's in the small blind. He's got ace-queen. And he raises to 400,000.
Standard.
Seidel has the queen and 7 of strawberries. And that's a call.
Also quite standard.
Good flop for Seidel. Top pair and a flush draw.
Seidel catching some much-needed run good.
Action goes check, check. 2 pair now for Seidel. Top pair for Ivanovic.
And Urbanovic's 1 gear is going to hurt him here, methinks.
Action check to him, and here comes the delayed continuation bet. 425,000. Seidel with 95% equity. Check raises to more than 1 million.
Erik raises so infrequently in these spots, it's hard not to insta-muck. Unless you have top pair, top kicker, then it's really, really hard to insta-muck.
Ivanovic mildly perplexed by the raise. He calls. $3 million in the pot, and the river card is the King of Hearts. Second nut flush for Seidel.
Pretty good. You know, Erik was on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Having said that, I think he should value bet here.
A little bit stringy, but he gets away with it because he's Erik Seidel. Just over half of what was in the middle, 1.6 million.
Urbanovic is used to being the one to apply the pressure. We've seen very few spots where he's been put to a decision with a medium to strong hand.
Do you ever bluff?
What if Erik was just like, maybe? Maybe?
Ivanovic has counted out the call. And he makes the call.
He just does not like giving up, and that is 3 for 3 for Erik Seidel. He's heating up.
And with that pot, he takes the chip lead. He now has the advantage over Ivanovic. 6-7 of hearts for Seidel. And he calls. Ivanovic checks his option with ace-8.
And these two are going heads up to the flop.
Thank you, Joe. 2 pair for Seidel. Ivanovic checks.
This looks like a flop where some chips could go in.
Erik bets 250,000. Yeah, Ivanovic has an up and down straight draw and a backdoor flush draw.
Well, you can't fold.
He calls. So more than $1 million in the middle as we go to the turn, which is the king of diamonds. Doesn't change anything.
Boring card.
Ivanovic checks for a second time. I think we can expect a second barrel from Mr. Seidel.
Yeah, you should probably keep betting here.
650K.
I know it's going to be tough for Dimitri to take a passive line here since he wants to win every single pot, but some of them he's going to have to win by showing down the best hand. Now, I will often tell people to act like they've been there before, but if Dimitri can act a little less like he's relived this more times than Bill Murray and Groundhog Day, that would be great.
Ivanovic calls with his draw.
Well, he's not trying to blast Seidel out of the pot this time, at least.
Queen on the river, which means Ivanovic just has ace high.
Banana, banana.
Ivanovic checks.
Does Erik Seidel think he can get 3 streets of value with 2 pair?
Looks like it. That's $1 million. There's the hero call from Ivanovic. And Seidel tables 2 pair.
Erik Seidel is just chipping away at this kid. Is that 4-0 Seidel?
Ivanovic loses another huge pot, and Seidel has a monster chip lead over his opponent.
I think at this point they should just chop it and let the trophy decide who it wants to go home with.
Ivanovic has king-9. That's a call. Seidel in the big blind has pocket 10s.
Doubtful Erik doesn't raise.
And there is the raise. 900,000. Ivanovic shoves.
I call.
And Seidel calls.
It's all in the middle and it's not even a race.
Seidel is 72% favorite to win this super high roller.
Urbanovic ran pretty hot until this heads up. Maybe he'll catch now that he needs it.
No king on the flop.
Nie ma konia.
Urbanovic with 3 immediate outs. No king on the turn. Seidel almost across the finishing line, just has to fade 3 cards. The river is a 7, and that's it, it's over.
Okay. Congrats.
Urbanovic is the runner-up, and Erik Seidel has finally won an EPT super high roller.
There's one king out there. Seidel be thy name. Finally, Erik. Finally.
Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome poker content. And check out this video. The YouTube algorithm seems confident you'll like it.